Kidevolve kids. Get your brains warmed up, your minds moving, and ready yourself for a Kidevolve journey. It's going to be amazing.
Hi, my name is Jeff. I have a question for you. Have you ever had the experience of being really shy? Like you didn't want to go to school, or you didn't want to come down for dinner, or you didn't want to meet a new person. You just kind of wanted to be invisible. Maybe you also felt like people were looking at you and didn't like the things that you were going to say, that kind of thing. That happens to me sometimes. I worry that I'll say something stupid or I'll do something that people won't like, or even just I don't want to be around people because I don't want them looking at me. Has that ever happened to you? Well, that's what this story is all about. It's something that you can do to give yourself a boost of confidence. Confidence means feeling a little bit better about yourself. And I'm going to call this story Drinking a Can of Delight. Do you know what delight is? Delight is a quality that's similar to awesome as well as cool, except better. It's cool with sparkles on. It's awesome with light shining out of its hairdo. When a person is delightful, it doesn't matter what's happening all around. Inside, they're sparkling with delicious, effervescent delight juice. All you have to do is drink a can of delight in your imagination. Like a can of soda pop. So I want you to imagine, what would that look like right now for you? Maybe the can is red or it's golden. It might be glowing a little bit. Might have a big letter on the side. Might say delight. Can you imagine this can? So now I want you to imagine that you have this can with you all the time in a secret pocket that no one else can see. So let's see how this might work. Imagine you're in a situation. Let's say you're going to a new school and you're about to go into the schoolyard and you don't know anybody, and they're going to be playing games you don't know, and there's going to be new kids that you don't know, and there's a big, huge schoolyard space, and normally you might just want to be invisible. At least I would. I would want to hide in the corner and first kind of make sure everything is okay before I went in. And that's totally normal. But fortunately, you have a can of delight in your secret pocket. So you reach in and pick up the can and you pull the tab at the top. Psst, and then you drink it. Glug, 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 glug. Oh, the world outside is frightful, but fortunately, I am delightful. I don't much care what you think, for I'm enjoying this delicious soft drink. And as soon as you drink this can, you feel yourself sparkling with inner delightfulness. And everybody looks at you, and they can't quite figure out what's going on, because it's like you have a little sparkle in your eye, and your step is a little skip, and you're kind of smooth and kind of cool, and all the things you do are quite hilarious and delightful. Whoa, so that was that situation, and fortunately you got through it pretty good. But let's pause for a moment here and take a deep breath together. Breathing in and breathing out. Can you imagine what it might feel like right now to actually act that way? What would it feel like in your body? Let's smile for a moment and try to feel it. Okay, good. Now let's imagine we're in a new situation. This time, you have to go and give a presentation in front of your entire class. And you know that everyone is going to be looking at you. And your teacher is going to be looking at you. And people will wonder if what you're going to say makes sense, or if it might just be a bunch of crazy gibberish. And you're nervous inside. I mean, your palms are sweating. You've got butterflies in your belly, and you're not sure if you can pull it off. And there you are sitting in your class, and the teacher's about to call on you, and you remember that you have a secret can of delight in your pocket. in your secret pouch. So you reach your hand in and you pull it out and you pop the top. Psst. Glug, 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 glug. I know the world outside is frightful, but fortunately I'm delightful. I don't much care what you think, for I'm enjoying this delightful soft drink. And you're just so delightful. You cruise up to the front of the class. You just say the words you need to say. You move the hands the way you need to move the hands. Maybe you do a little pirouette and a dash and something quite dashing and hilarious. Something so delightful. And the class just laughs and, oh my God, wasn't that wonderful? And the teacher can't believe what a wonderful presentation that was. And with a twirl, you sit back into your desk and you kick back and put your hands behind your head and think, well, that was well done. And that's another situation that could happen. Fortunately, you had that can of delight. So once again, let's pause for a moment and take another deep breath. With a long exhale. Can you imagine what it might feel like to actually act that way? Can you pause and take a nice slow breath for a few moments and try to feel a little bit of that bubbly can of confidence inside you? I'll give you a hint. It helps to smile. Okay, good. Now let's think of another situation when it might be useful to be able to drink such a can of delight to give you a boost of confidence in your step. I can think of one. It could be that you're in a situation where actually somebody is trying to bully you. They're trying to push you around or make you feel bad. Or maybe they're trying to do that to somebody else. They're making somebody, feel really crappy. And there you are kind of seeing this happen, and it's sort of like you want to shrink and disappear because it doesn't feel good to be in those situations. But you know that actually you might be able to stand up for yourself or stand up for this person instead. But you need a little can of pizzazz, something to give you a little hop in your step, to make you feel a little bit more confident. Fortunately, you remember, there in that secret pocket, you pull out the can and you put your fingers on the top and very gently you pull it back. Psst. And then you raise it to your lips. Glug, 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 glug. And that effervescent delight juice starts to move down your throat and into your belly, and it starts to put a sparkle in your eyes, and your fingers start to snapple and crackle with electricity, and you feel a wiggle in you, and you realize that it's time you stood up to these ridiculous bullies. For you're absolutely delightful, and the world outside right now is frightful, but fortunately you're so delightful. You don't much care what they think, for you're enjoying this delightful soft drink. And you slide over to the side of these bullies and you say, I'm sorry, sir, but I do not believe this is the right behavior for this situation. That person does not deserve to be bullied, and nor do I. Please do away with yourself. And you can't believe it, but these ridiculous bullies decide to actually do away with themselves. They're so overwhelmed by your delightful example of confidence. And so they scurry off like a bunch of little barn animals. Like a bunch of little Weasley rats with their whiskers to go and chew on some dirty moldy cheese in a corner somewhere. While you very graciously extend your hand to the kid that was scared, or maybe you're extending it to yourself, and the situation seems to be a lot better. Now, those are just 3 examples of places when you can use a can of delight. Can you think of a situation from your life when you might be able to use this? Because here's the truth. We all have this can of delight inside us, this ability to be a little bit more sparkly and a little bit more confidence. And it doesn't have to be so silly like I'm making it out. Maybe you just open the can of delight and it gives you a warm feeling of confidence. It allows you to say what you need to say and do the things that you need to do. So let's pause for one more time and take a deep breath with a long exhale and try to feel that confidence right now. Can you smile and imagine how it might feel? Okay, good. So that's what I want you to remember. Anytime in the future, when you're in a situation where you start to feel really small and really invisible, that it's possible to open up an inner can of delight and manage that situation with a little more effectiveness and confidence. In fact, you could say you can manage it with a little bit more delight. That's it for now. Bye-bye.
So, what did you think? Did it make your toes tingle, your eyes dance, your mind relax? Take a minute to stop, breathe, and check in with how you feel after listening to the story.